fertilization. Okay. So production of baby plants or offsprings from a zygote is called sexual reproduction. So production of offsprings, okay, production of offsprings from the zygote, is called as sexual reproduction. Okay. We often found that some plants grow from their cuttings or some other parts. Can you name some such plants? Okay. For example, let me see potato. Plant part from which a new plant produced. So new plant grow from eyes. Okay, we can see eyes on the potato. Okay, some trough-like structures can be seen in the potatoes. Here it starts producing roots. Okay, we will cut the eyes and we will place on the soil. So what happens here? So new potato plant will be formed. Okay, next onion. So at the buds we can be able to produce new plant. Okay, for sugar cane, steps growing nodes from the roots. Okay, we can see the sugar cane. So in the nodes here we can be able to see the presence of roots. Okay, if we cut this part and place it on the soil, we can be able to grow the new plant. Okay, next bryophyllum. So bryophyllum, the root itself contains, the leaf itself contains roots and these roots are placed on the soil. So new plant will be produced. Okay. Reproduction of plants from all such parts other than the flowers is a sexual reproduction. Other than the parts of the flower, if the reproduction takes place, such reproduction is considered as a sexual reproduction. Okay, let me see about the sexual reproduction. Asexual reproduction. The most important thing in plants is baby plants can grow even without formation of seeds, that is without sexual reproduction. Let us study some such processes. Let me see about the production of baby plants from any part of the plant body. Is considered as a sexual reproduction. On that, first one is vegetative propagation. On that, first one was vegetative propagation. Production of new plants from vegetative parts of the plants, that is root, stem and leaf, is known as vegetative reproduction. So vegetative parts like that, stem, root and leaf is called as vegetative propagation. Okay, let us do an activity. Do you know how farmers produce potatoes in their fields? Take a potato and observe it. It has a number of small depressions on its surface. These are known as eyes. Cut the potato into pieces such that there is an eye in each piece. Remove the eyes from some of these pieces. Fill 2 cups with soil. Plant the piece with eyes in 1 cup and label the cup as with eyes, and those without eyes is another cup named as without eyes. Water both cups daily and observe what happens. In which cup do potato plants sprout? So what he did, he took a potato As I told before, it contains some depressions. So these are known as eyes. Okay. So the farmer cutted the potato into pieces, and one is containing the eye and the other is not containing the eye. Okay. He took a cup or a bowl, he filled it with soil, and he placed a potato piece which is having eye, and also he placed a potato without eye. He marked this with eye and this without eye. So what happened after a period of time? So here germination takes place. That means it produces the leaves and roots. Okay, this will produce. It doesn't change. No change takes place. That means here it indicates the vegetative propagation. Okay, there is involvement of the stem. Okay, here is a picture of a plant called bryophyllum. Okay, you can see baby plants on the edge of the leaves. Can we say that bryophyllum plant reproduces through its leaves? In our garden, we grow plants like rose, hibiscus and jasmine by cutting a small branch and placing them in the soil. Okay, these biophyllum leaves consists of small plants, baby plants. So, leaves reproduce. So, as we told before in the vegetative propagation, so what happens? It involves root, stem and leaf. Okay, plants like hibiscus, rose plants in our garden, we will cut a small branch and we will place it on the soil, and there a new plant will be takes place. Okay, next, plant and vegetative propagation in some plants. Plant part of the plant: sweet potato, the dahlia, carrot, turnip, radish. New plants grow from the modified roots. Okay, in the sweet potato, carrot, turnip and radish, so new part of the plant is formed from the roots. Okay, next, potato, it consists of eyes, and that eye transforms into a tuber which is modified stem. Okay, next, onion, garlic, tuberose, lilies, gladioli. New plants form from bulbs or cones which are modified stems. Okay, so new plants grows from the bulbs or cones. Okay, next, about bryophyllum, sprout leaf plant, begonia. New plants form from buds on the leaf. So in bryophyllum and begonia, new plants are formed from the buds of the leaf. Okay, sugarcane stem grow roots at the nodes. Okay, next, mint, strawberry, chrysanthemum, raspberry. Stem creeps along the ground and strikes roots at the nodes. Okay, so if we see in the strawberry plant, stem creeps along the ground and strikes roots at the nodes. We can be able to see the nodes at the we can be seeing roots at the nodes. Okay, next, about second asexual reproduction in plants, that is nothing but budding. Okay, the jalebi maker adds something to the jalebi mix and leaves it for some time. It helps him to make a good jalebis. What he mixes is a type of plant called yeast. Yeast grows with the help of a small bulb-like outgrowths with increase in size and breaks off from the parent plant to live independently. This process of reproduction is called as budding. Okay, first suppose if we see the jalebi maker, he adds something to the jalebi mix and leave it for some time. So he will leave it for 3 days like that. Okay, he will add some yeast. Yeast is a plant. Okay, so which will be grown in a small bulb-like outgrowths in which in which increases in size and breaks off from the parent plant to live independently. So it will cut off from the parent and So it will start living independently. This process of reproduction is called as budding. So such process is known as budding. Okay. Take some water in a glass tumbler, mix a tablespoon of sugar and a half spoon of yeast powder you get in the market in the glass tumbler. Cover the glass and leave it undisturbed for a day. On the next day, place a drop of the solution on a slide and cover it with a cover slip and examine it under a microscope. You will be able to see budding yeast cells as shown in the figure. They look like water bubbles growing new ones on them. So what happens, what he told us to take a glass of water. On that water he added a sugar to that solution, and he placed a yeast on that sugar solution. So next day if we observe, we can be able to see the growth of the yeast on the slide. Okay, so these yeast individually starts growing from the parent plant and they live independently, and they can be seen in the figure 14. Okay, just as the figure we can be able to see the growth of fungus, that is nothing but growth of yeast.